My wife is nothing more than a liar. She created some Instagram account and convinced all these followers that she was living a debt-free life and she was going to give them tips about how they can do it too. But here's the secret. She's $64,000 in debt and she's been lying to everybody. The pictures of the luxury kitchen inside of our house, yeah, that's not our home. She found it on the internet and is living some fantasy life, meanwhile running up all my credit cards. And you know what? I can't take it anymore. I'm 34 Mel. Just found out my wife's debt-free life Instagram is a complete lie. She maxed out $64,000 in secret debt, and now there's a collection notice in my name I never knew about. I don't even know where to begin. My hands are literally shaking as I type this. I always thought I was good with money, responsible, the guy who has his crap together. Now I'm sitting in my car in the Target parking lot because I can't go home and look at my wife right now without completely losing it. I've been just staring at this collection notice for an hour. My name, my social, my address, but $11,000 in debt I never even knew existed. Sorry in advance for how long it's going to be. I just need to get this all out there because I feel like I'm going insane. Like I'm living in some kind of twisted Black Mirror episode where nothing is real anymore. My wife, 32 female, and I have been married for just over 6 years. Let's call her Cameron. We live in Henderson, Nevada, right outside of Las Vegas, where I was working as a warehouse supervisor for a logistics company. Nothing glamorous, but steady work with decent benefit. We've been trying for a baby for the past few months. More on that heartbreak later. When we first met, Cameron worked in marketing for a local hospitality group. She was so practical back then, the type to clip coupons and have a color-coded budget spreadsheet. She would joke about being raised by a Depression-era grandma in a millennial's body. I loved that about her. We were aligned on our goals, pay off student loans, save for a house, start a family, basic adulting stuff. About a year and a half ago, Cameron started getting really into personal finance content on Instagram and TikTok. She'd show me these people living in minimalist apartment, talking about investment strategies and debt payoff journeys. I thought it was great, she was motivated, learning new things, and then she started her own account. Just little tips at first, nothing major, but her following grew surprisingly quick. Something about her aesthetic and personality just clicked with people. Last spring, she came to me with what she called the opportunity of a lifetime. She wanted to quit her job and go all in on content creation. Her account had around 5,000 followers then, and she, I don't know, maybe $200 from affiliate links? I was skeptical, obviously, but she had this whole presentation prepared. Projection charts, content calendars, case studies of other creators. She promised that she would give it 6 months, and if it wasn't working, she would find another job. This is who I'm meant to be. I can feel it. So I supported her. We agreed to live on my income while she built her brand. She named her account Debt-Free Wife Diary and positioned herself as this guru of conscious spending, minimalism, and manifesting abundance. Her follower count kept growing, 8,000, 12,000, now almost 18,000. Her content got more polished, and she bought a ring light, then a better camera, then editing software, all investments in the business, she said. At first, I was really proud. She seemed to be building something. Her most popular series was about how she paid off $11,000 in 6 months through side hustles and budgeting hacks. People ate it up. The comments were full of praise like, "You're such an inspiration, goal." I wish my husband understood finances like yours does. If only they knew. The reality is that we're drowning in debt. $64,000 to be specific. And that's not even counting the $3,200 we owe my mother-in-law for fronting the down payment on Cameron's studio room. Renovation, it's basically just painting the spare bedroom white and adding floating shelves for her minimalistic aesthetic. We've got $22,000 in credit card debt spread across 3 cards, all near maxed out. There's $17,000 left on Cameron's student loans that she was supposed to be making payments on. My truck loan is another $13,000. And then there's this $12,000 line of credit that she opened last fall that I only found out about 2 months ago when a statement accidentally came to the house, instead of going to the paperless billing that she set up. For months, she was telling me that the brand deals were in the works, and that the companies were just finalizing contracts. She claims that she's this close to landing partnerships with sustainable clothing brands and natural cleaning products and budgeting apps. Always just around the corner. Meanwhile, I'm over here juggling balance transfers between cards just to keep afloat, and I've even asked her repeatedly to get a part-time job, just something to help cover the basics while her empire grows. She refuses, saying it would damage her brand and send the wrong message to her audience. Apparently, debt-free wife who actually works at Starbucks 3 days a week doesn't have the same ring to it. And here's where it gets really messed up. Yesterday, I was paying bills as usual and logged into our joint Amex account. There it was, $2,000 worth of Gucci at the Wynn Las Vegas. Gucci! This was literally 2 days after she posted a reel about cutting emotional spending triggers, where she talked about unfollowing luxury brands and deleting shopping apps. I called her immediately and said, "What the hell is this Gucci charge?" She laughed. Actually laughed. "Oh, it's just a prop for my next series about how luxury doesn't buy happiness. Don't worry about it." Don't worry about it. We can barely make rent. Our power got shut off 3 days last month and she's dropping $2,000 at a Gucci store? For a prop? How are we even going to make the payment on this? "Oh, it's fine. I can write it off on taxes. It's a business expense now." After that call, I went into our shared budgeting spreadsheet, the one that she used to update religiously every week. She hasn't touched it in months. Everything's outdated, so I started digging deeper into our accounts. That's when I found the worst part. Last year, we agreed to set aside money each month for fertility treatments. We've been trying to get pregnant naturally for almost a year with no luck. My insurance doesn't cover much in that department, and the account should have had almost $5,000 in it by now. It has $326. I found a series of withdrawals all by Cameron. The largest one was nearly $1,800 and was dated 3 weeks ago with the memo Joshua Tree content trip. She took our baby money to go to Joshua Tree with some other influencer couple to take photos in a desert. I confronted her again last night. She cried and said, well, the trip was networking and obviously would pay itself in 10 times over because the connections that she made. She said one of the influencers had connections at anthropology and might get her a home goods collaboration. Meanwhile, we live in a cramped 2-bedroom apartment with IKEA furniture that's falling apart. Our fridge is full of Kirkland brand, everything, because that's what we afford. Our Wi-Fi gets cut off at least once a month because we're late. But if you look at her Insta, we're living this perfectly curated, debt-free life where we, quote, align financially and spiritually. She literally films our apartment from specific angles with specific lighting to make it look like it's more expensive than it is. She used stock photos of luxury kitchens in her reels, and she even borrows designer clothing from her one rich friend for, quote, outfit of the day post, and then returns it. Everything is smoke and mirrors. And now today, I get home from work and there's a letter from a collections agency for a business credit card under Debt Free Wife LLC, a company I didn't even know existed. The card is in my name, my credits, $11,000 in debt that I never even approved or even knew about. I'm sitting in my car in the Target parking lot because I'm afraid if I go home right now, I'll say things I can't take back. I called her and she broke down sobbing, saying she was trying to create a better life for us, and she didn't, think it would get this bad. But here's the part that really kills me. When I told her that she needed to take down all the debt-free content because it's a lie, she refused and said, "It's my identity now. It's all I've got." All she's got? What about me? What about our future? Our credit is trashed, our savings is gone, and the baby we wanted seems impossible. I don't even know who she is anymore. Am I being dramatic, or am I just watching our future die one reel at a time? It seems like the wife in today's story keeps digging herself a deeper ditch. She just cannot get over this debt consolation, and she keeps growing it more and more with some fantasy about becoming famous. There's a comment I want to check out before we hop into the updates. It comes from Debt-Free Dave. He says, "Dude, I hate to be the person, but this isn't just a rough patch in your marriage. This is financial abuse at its finest, full stop. Your wife has literally committed identity theft against you. If anyone else had opened a credit card in your name without your consent, you would be filing a police report right now. The fact that she's built an entire false persona around being financially responsible while secretly drowning you both in debt shows a level of deception that goes way beyond normal relationship problems. She's not just lying to strangers on the internet. She's been systematically lying to you, her partner, for over a year. And taking money from your fertility treatment fund for an Instagram trip? That's not just irresponsible, that's cruel. She's literally prioritized social media content over your future child. If I were you, I'd get out of it. Guys, I want to know what you think about that comment. Let me know down below. We have a whole update to jump into. This update came out 4 days after the main post, and here it is. It's been 4 days since my original post. I want to say thank you for the responses. I didn't expect so many people to read this or even care. Reading your comments have been both validating and terrifying. Validating because I'm not crazy for being upset, and terrifying because so many of you pointed out things I haven't even considered. I've been staying at my buddy's place since Thursday night. Needed space to think, and I've also been doing a lot of digging into our finances. And surprise, surprise, things are even worse than I initially thought. So after I posted here, I went home and had probably the longest conversation of my life with Cameron. I walked into the door and found her filming a reel in our living room about communicating financial goals with your partner. The irony was too much. I waited until she finished, then told her that we need to talk. For real, no phones, no cameras. I laid it all out, everything I knew about our debt situation. The collection notice, the emptied fertility fund. I told her I needed complete transparency or I was walking. She cried a lot. Then she finally started to talk. Turns out that $64,000 in debt I mentioned, that's not the full picture. There's another credit card I didn't even know about with a $9,000 balance. And she has been borrowing from her mom, not just the $3,200 I knew about, but another $5,000 on top of it. All in total, we're looking at like $80,000 in debt. $80,000. For perspective, I make about $58,000 a year. After taxes, health insurance, and my 401k contribution, which I've now had to suspend, I bring home roughly $3,400 a month. Our rent is $1,750. Do the math, it's impossible. When I asked how much she's actually made from this influencer career, she admitted it's been about $7,200 total over the entire year. Most of that came from a few small brand deals and affiliate links. I mean, nowhere near enough to qualify of quitting a stable $52,000 a year marketing job. But here's where things get really twisted. I asked her to show me her content calendar and all her communication with branding. She hesitated, but eventually handed over her laptop. What I found was devastating. She's been lying to these companies, inflating her engagement numbers and using Photoshop screenshots of her analytics, claiming she has 32,000 followers when she has 18, saying her posts get an average of 5,000 likes when they're really getting like 800. No wonder the big deals never materialized. Any company that did basic verification would see she's a liar. I also found dozens and dozens of emails from followers asking for personal finance advice. People sharing their vulnerable stories of debt and asking her for help. Single moms trying to make ends meet. College students drowning in loans, and she's been responding to them with bullcrap advice about manifestation and abundance of mindset. These people think that she's speaking from a place of success and knowledge, but it's all fake. It gets worse. Remember that Joshua Tree content trip I mentioned? I found the photos. It wasn't just some innocent networking weekend. These are pictures of her with that influencer couple doing drugs off the rental house coffee table. My wife, who I've never seen even smoke a cigarette, doing lines in the desert while wearing a $600 Free People dress that she apparently bought just for the trip. Yeah, found that charge too, honey. When I confronted her about the photo, she broke down completely, said the influencer lifestyle was more intense than she expected, that everyone in that world is faking it until they making it, and she was just trying to fit in, that the pressure of maintaining appearance has been crushing her. No one wants financial advice from someone who's struggling. They want the fantasy. They want to believe it's real. I asked her point blank if she would be willing to, quote, delete all the debt-free content and come clean to her followers, shut down the business and go back to a regular job, enter credit counseling with me to tackle this financial disaster, return the Gucci bag and other luxury items she's bought. You know, she said no to all four. Actually, first she tried negotiating. What if she just pivoted her content to be about the journey instead of the destination? What if she kept the account but was more honest moving forward? What if she got a part-time job but still did content creation? I told her it was all or nothing at this point, baby. And that's when she said something I can't even get out of my head. You knew who I was when you married me. You knew I wanted more than a boring middle-class life. This is my chance to be someone. If you loved me, you would believe in me. I've been replaying that in my mind for days. Did I know? Was this always who she was? I thought I married somebody with the same values as me, honesty, hard work, living within our means. Now I'm wondering if that person even existed. Or if I was just seeing something that I wanted to see. I've talked to a lawyer. Nevada is a community property state, which means I'm legally responsible for all this debt regardless of whether I knew about it or not. The identity theft angle with the business credit card might give me some protection for that specific debt, but it would mean pressing charges against my own wife. Even thinking about that makes me sick. I've also contacted the 3 credit bureaus to freeze my credit, changed my passwords, opened up a separate bank account for my paychecks going forward. Meanwhile, Cameron's posting still. Yesterday, she put up a reel about weathering financial storms together as a couple, with a caption about how transparent communication is the foundation of financial intimacy. I almost threw my phone across the room. This morning, she texted asking when I'm coming home, said that she misses me, and said that she's been thinking about what I said and wants to find a compromise. But there's no compromise here, right? You can't be half honest or half faithful or half solvent. Then again, the thought of divorce does terrify me. Not just emotionally, but financially. How do I untangle myself from this mess without completely destroying my financial future? How do I start over at 34 with ruined credit and massive debt? I honestly don't know what to do. Every time I think about the life we planned, the house that we were saving for, the baby that we wanted, I feel physically sick. I'm angry and heartbroken and exhausted all at once. For those who suggested therapy in the comments of the original post, yeah, I called around yesterday. I found a therapist who offers a sliding scale payment and has an opening next week. It's a start, I guess. What an insane story. I need to know your thoughts on that. Have you ever been in a position that you were in deep debt and you had to find a way out of it? Yeah, a lot of people have been there, but very few people go on social media and lie about their situation and say, hey, look at me, I'm rich. Meanwhile, they're in debt buying Gucci bags with credit cards. There's a comment I want to check out. It comes from Financial Realty Check 789. Holy crap, dude. I rarely comment on these kind of posts, but you feel like someone needs to give you a serious wake-up call. Your wife is not just living in a fantasy world. She's committing actual crimes, credit fraud, wire fraud, tax fraud, FTC violations for fake endorsements. This isn't just, oh, she's being irresponsible with money. This is potentially facing federal charges. The fact that she opened accounts in your name without your knowledge isn't just a relationship issue. It's identity theft, plain and simple. And you're enabling it by immediately not reporting it. Every day you don't report it is another day you're implicitly saying, yes, I approve these charges in the eye of the law. And drugs, really? So now we're adding drug charges to the mix. Do you understand that if she gets caught with that stuff, your assets are at risk too? But honestly, what's most disturbing to me is how she's manipulating vulnerable people online. People who are actually struggling with debt, looking up to her for advice. Ugh. While she's living a complete utter lie and driving herself and you further into financial ruin. That's not just dishonest, my friend. That's predatory. You're asking if you're being dramatic, buddy. You're not being dramatic enough. This isn't going to get better. There's no magic brand deal coming to save you. There's no compromise where she keeps her identity as a debt-free guru while you guys are $80,000 in the hole. You need to protect yourself now. Not next week. Not after one more conversation with her. Now. Because I guarantee you this. She's already planning her next move. And it's going to be coming clean and getting a 9-to-5 job never. Well, then the line about you knew who I was when you married me, that's classic manipulation and gaslighting. No, you didn't marry a lying, identity theft, a stealing, drug-using fraudster. Don't let her gaslight you into thinking this is somehow what you signed up for. You're not ending your future by leaving. You're giving yourself a chance at having one at all. Is it going to be hard? Yes. It's going to cost you a lot? Yes. But every day you stay, that cost is going to go up. Sorry for the harshness, but someone needs to say it. Get out now. Guys, I think that comment said a lot of what we were thinking, but I need to know, in your opinion, would you have told OP something different? Maybe you want to say, hey, OP, you need to stick with your wife and just try to get her to realize what she's doing is the bad path. Or would you say, no, get the heck out of there now? Let me know in the comment section down below, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's story. And if you want more daily videos, hit that subscribe button underneath this video and look for this logo right about here. If you like me narrating the stories, that's how you know that I'm narrating. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and of course remember, it's cool to be kind. Peace.